Somehow I have the feeling that something is going wrong with my coffee today. But, well, if today's project is going to become a fail, then I can say it's not my fault, but it's the condition of my body that this coffee brought to me. Hi, this is Luisa Heinzel, trying to be funny in English, not always so successful. Welcome to this video. Of course, I have a regular coffee here as well. What else? I mean, I have to do difficult things here today, so I need coffee. I'm very happy that you are here today again, or perhaps you are new here, then welcome to my channel. In my last video, we made this little guy here for a thing where I taught you a new German word, which is dingeldangel. And that is nothing else than something that you can put to the spine of your journal. In English, of course, you know words for this kind of stuff as well, like tassel or dangle or something like that. I think dingle-dangle also is inspired by the English word dangle. So you can see some changes here. This you have seen in the last video. If you have missed that, then please watch the playlist, which is linked down below this video. I have assembled this here in the German video. I think that turned out really, really nice. I really love how this came out. And this little coin, I think I have shown you that in the last video already. I have just attached it here with this little paper clip. And the other thing from the German video, so I made this in the German video and I made this in the German video. This top layer here of this part of the dingle-dangle, I think I have shown you that in the last video as well. I've just added a little button, which I also found on my construction site here in my new apartment. I made this journal from construction site junk, and I have a little, let's say, a little bigger construction site in my new apartment, and from there I collected most of the materials I have in this journal to make a memory book of this time. All of the steps I have done here you can find in the playlist linked down below this video. And I'm now at this stage to decide what I want to do with the cover. In my last video I have already shown you an idea which I have brought to life in my German video, so I will quickly explain what this is and why I did it on the back of the journal. I mean, it looks good. That is the first reason. So what have I done here? I got a really, really cute happy mail from one of you, and in that happy mail there have been these frames. And I had these bottle caps from a drink called Caramels. That was originally also written on the bottle caps, but I have glued these little labels over here. I've just stamped with some stamps from the Tiny Text Halloween stamp set from Tim Holtz and Stampers Anonymous, and then I have cut that out and put this quote on here. I have mixed and matched different quotes from the Halloween Tiny Text set, so that this now says, "Heard a noise deep in my heart." I have glued some wooden pieces behind these bottle caps so that I was able to glue them down here. I've used bookbinders glue that is sturdy. I mean, I think this can't come off, yeah, but somehow, especially the bottom one here, is moving a little bit. And now I'm thinking, what could I do to protect this a little bit more and make it sturdier, but without having a stiff cover in the end. I have additionally stenciled here with a piece of this net here, and then I got this, and then I inked over this and also over this textured area here with some scorched timber oxide ink. This turned out so nice. I'm so in love and that is really, really cool. But yeah, what shall we do with this? Let's perhaps first do the easy things, and let me think about this for a few seconds. Holy cow. The easiest thing is to attach this nail here to our dingle-dangle. And I'm realizing, I think all of my paperclip hearts here are now upside down. This is the finished dingle-dangle now. Dingle-dangle. Is it then dingle-dingle-dangle in English? let's make some new words for the junk journaling terms. So now this looks like this. Okay, so that was a few seconds to think about this problem. I could take some clear embossing powder, throw that over here, and then heat emboss that to also fill in these little spaces here a little bit. Perhaps then the bottle cap connects better with the cover. It would also protect these paper strips a little bit better, because I thought when I use the journal and work in the journal, then these paper quotes here will be on my table, and if I move the journal, I'm a little bit afraid that this then could be destroyed. I found some frosted crystal embossing powder. The problem is I can't get embossing ink in here, so I think it should be possible to emboss this whole stuff from the back.
I wanna freak my freak right now. Heat embossing going wild, wow. Smoke alarms, they scream and shout. I just wanna work it out. I wanna freak my freak right now. Heat embossing gone wild, wow. Smoke alarms, they scream and shout. I just wanna work it out. Glitter spinning around my head. Sticky fingers can't be led. Wanna craft without the flames, but I'm trapped in these fun games. I wanna freak my freak right now. Heat embossing gone wild, wow. Smoke alarms, they scream and shout. I just wanna work it out. I wanna freak my freak right now. Heat embossing gone wild, wow, wow. Smoke alarms, they scream and shout. I just wanna work it out, work it out. Reach so high it takes a toll. Burn my hands, can't control. Glitter piles thick and tall, but I can't resist a fall. I wanna freak my freak right now. Heat embossing gone wild, wow, wow.
Okay, so here I'm back. I have the feeling that this helped a little bit. It still moves a little bit, but I think that's because the cover is so flexible. But I like that this didn't work like it was in my head, because now I also have some of the little pieces of the frosted crystal powder here on my cover, and that gives it this frosty, glittery look, and I really like that. By accident, here there landed a lot of the powder as well, and when I saw that while I had my heat tool in my hand and melted the powder, I decided that I want to leave the powder there, and I've just embossed it so that I have that here now as well, and I think that really adds to the texture and especially to the theme of this journal, because this looks a little like glittery dust. So let's turn this around and let's talk about my idea for the front cover. I really struggled with the decision if I want to put something on here or if I just want to leave this like it is. But since I have made the thing on the back side, I thought it needs something here as well. And when I found this metal piece here on the construction site, I immediately thought, why don't I take this to make a label for my journal? And then I have these stencil chips. These come from the Ideology line by Tim Holtz. And if you follow my channel, you know that I promised to show what you can do with these, because there was a little embarrassing thing that happened to me while creating an Ideology project for Tim, because I always had these in my stash like a treasure. when I was in Austria and when I lived there, they were really, really hard to get because, you know, in Austria, it's so hard to get the ideology products. And then some of you have sent some of these to me in happy mails. I got some from Tim, and then I started working a little more with these, but I always use them like they are. Meaning I have put some alcohol ink in on here, or I have taken a sandpaper and have sanded the edges. That's what I want to do here as well. But then with this ideology project I made for Tim, where these stencil chips came out in a smaller scale, so these are the bigger ones, I had not so much time, to be honest. And then I used my heat tool on these. And suddenly I was in a little shock because I thought, what the heck is happening with these things? And I couldn't find a demo of these on Tim's channel because until that day there was no demo available. In the meantime, he has a demo. So in that demo on his channel, which is now existing, you can see him showing how this material reacts, but you will also see it here now, because I think that is really, really cool, because this material, this coating of this thing, can do something really spectacular. I mean, these are nice like they are, but you can do even more things with these. I thought that this is a really nice addition to the journal, and I've chosen the letters L and H because of Luise Heinzel, and I was inspired to do this by a present I got from a really dear friend, and that is this notepad. And look, she has done this here as well, L and H. So I thought that is really cool. I mean, I really like that. But she has used them in their original condition as well. That is good for this video, because when I have done what I will do here in a second, then I can show you the comparison if you use them like they are or if you do it like I do it here now. So with sanding these, of course, you can get a really nice edge, which is then becoming silver, as you can see. Really nice addition to the gold, I think. And you can scratch into the surface here a little bit so that this looks even more interesting. We could use some alcohol ink on here now. So then I thought what to do with all of these rusty nails. Why is this so long? I thought we can make something that gives the imagination that this is hanging there, but it's a little bit too long, isn't it? And I also thought if I want to write the word move here with a golden pen, so I think that this nail is perfect, because then I still have room for the word here. And I have placed this here to see if I want to have this rusty color on here as well with some alcohol ink. And I think I want to do that. Am I dreaming, or what is this? Here, rust. That should be good. So I take my alcohol ink, and I don't have alcohol here at the moment. So I thought, can I use something like this as well to bring the ink around? I have no idea. This is for cleaning windows. I put this on here. Yeah, that is not very professional, but it's an experiment. Perhaps it works. Oh, that is perfect. Oh, and it works. I just want to bring the alcohol ink around here a little bit so that it gets a little, you know, not so blob-ish. I will use my heat tool in a second, and then this whole thing will change, because this material is meant to be embossed with your heat tool. And I haven't known that when I worked with those for this ideology project I mentioned. And when I was then using my heat tool because I had no time, I was so shocked because the surface of this material is going to change as soon as you heat it up. And I thought, I have destroyed this. I was so confused. So let's do that. And it's so fascinating to watch how this material changes and also how the color of the alcohol ink changes. I hope that you can see that in the camera. So perhaps I do it first only on this one. That also makes that the letter gets way more dimensional. Oh my goodness, this is going to become so beautiful. The alcohol ink gets really red, but that is okay, I think. And of course you could take these little guys and run them through an embossing folder, for example, to get some texture. You could add some acrylic paint after sanding them or after embossing them. Let that dry for a few seconds and then wipe the excess off to get a really nice look. I want to keep the gold here as much as possible because I have so much gold in the journal as well. So I do this on a really, basic level, I would say. But the goal here, or the purpose why I'm doing this here is to show you how the surface changes and especially how the letter changes. Can you see that it is now really dimensional? Take a look at these little edges here where the cutout ends. That looks so cool and it gets so dimensional, and also the color of this thing changes a little bit. So let me show you the comparison. Can you see that? It's so crazy. And when I saw that for the first time, I was like, oh my goodness, what is happening here? What is happening to my piece? But it's just cool. But I think it's a little bit too red. But I will do this here as well. Well, let me quickly take out these two things and this, because that is in my bag here, and I'm just thinking if that is a nice addition or if I want to use that for something else. I don't like that. Why don't I like that? Because it's just too red. Okay, let's first take some scotched timber oxide ink. And let's go over here. I have some golden splatters in the journal, which I made with the help of a pen. Oh, I promised that I show you the comparison of this. So let's quickly do that before I forget that. Isn't that fascinating? I find that really, really fascinating. So I have this golden pen I used to make the splatters in the journal. I have taken this and then just tried to get the ink out there. Oh my goodness. That was when I still was in my caravan, and there it doesn't matter now anymore if I splatter to my walls or wherever. So let's see. Hopefully I will not ruin the room where I am here at the moment. So that's it's so hard to get this off. So let's do the same thing. Let's take something and then just try to get some of this on here to get more gold back to the it's easier like this. Okay, I want to bring the color of the alcohol ink, I have to stand up, to the background a little bit more. So then, since this is sticky because it's wet, why don't we try to throw some of the frosted crystal powder on there, use the stickiness or the wetness of this stuff to make the powder stick, and then emboss that again, because we have already, ooh, Okay, it's sticking to the whole surface. Oh, that's great as well. Okay, okay. You get what you get. Let's do this. Ooh, and it will probably now happen that I overheat the frosted crystal embossing powder, because I need a lot of heat to make sure that the splatters dry. And this pen, oh my goodness, I just see that I ruined it here. Oni Paint Shiny Gold Marker. Oh my goodness. Holy moly. Okay, stop it, stop it, stop it. Let the rest dry. Air dry. Oh my goodness. Ah, I'm so sorry. Oh my goodness. Okay, so what what happens if you have a liquid medium like this ink from the pen, for example, and you splatter to a surface and then you use embossing powder? Of course, you need way more. No, you need the heat from your heat tool longer to be able to emboss your powder. Why is that? Because, of course, the liquid from, in this case, the pen, this ink from the pen, needs longer to dry. And it happens that then first the ink from the pen dries, and then the powder on these little splatters melts. But on the rest of the surface, that goes faster, of course. And with frosted crystal embossing powder, and I'm only talking about frosted crystal embossing powder, because if you used normal clear embossing powder, that is not such a problem. Or if you would use embossing glaze, that would be not such a problem. But if you overheat or heat this too long, then this frosted and yeah, this look of the frosted crystal powder disappears, because if you overheat that or heat that for a long time, and a time which is too long, holy moly, I can't talk English today, then it gets glossy. Now we have a matte finish on here, holy moly. Look how beautiful this is. Oh, I'm so happy about this accident with the color of the alcohol ink, because I would never have come to the idea to do this like this. Can you see how gritty but matte the frosted crystal powder is? And that's because I have stopped with my heat tool at exactly the right moment. If you don't do that and you heat this up too much or too long, then it gets glossy and it loses this look. I made the experience that the ink from the pen takes a very long time to dry completely, but I think that now I can go on. I have nothing on my finger here anymore. That is good. I think that's because of frosted crystal, which is coating this whole thing now. Oh my goodness, I'm so happy with these. I have to, I think I need to eat this because I have to calm my nerves a little bit. Oh my goodness. But now the edges are, oh, I'm such a bad person, because as soon as I see something that I like, I see something that I don't like, or where I have to criticize something, because the edges now lost their intensity. I think I should decide first, before I decide about the edges, about the color the letters shall get. Okay, so these are the options. Number 1. Number 2. Way better, because we get a connection to the dark letters here. Okay, that is way better. So this was the black watercolor paper, and this is the piece of the backdrop, ideology backdrop I had laying around here. Yeah, I think that is the best option because that is not completely black. And this is also not completely black. I think this color, I mean, it's not the same color, I can see that, but it's, yeah, that is the solution. Okay, so I'm thinking I want to sew these letters onto this piece. I think I can already do that so that this also can't move around anymore. But I'm just thinking, shall I, when I go to my sewing machine now, at the same time take a piece of lace and attach that there already as well? Do we want lace here? Okay, let me do something. Let me sew these things on. It drives me crazy that this is moving the whole time. I will sew these on, and then if the lace doesn't want to play with us, then it can go. But this drives me crazy. I'll be back in a second. So here I'm back. Now these little guys can't move anymore. I think this is too massive. If this wants to be that long, we would need to make this a little thinner. Okay. It can't be that long. No, 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 no. This is so cool. I think I will just take a tiny, tiny piece of this and put that somewhere, just a little bit. Does this pen work? Yeah. Shall I perhaps, I will take, oh, I will take a pencil and write this here first so that I can see where the letters have to be. But on this metal, this is also not very golden. Oh, and you see these little blobs where I lifted the pen. Okay. Okay, but there it is more golden. I mean, is this something that would bother you as well, or am I just silly? Can you see that? There where I lifted the pen, the ink is way more intense, and there are these little circles, these little dots, and there where that is, it's also really gold. That looks even better than before. Oh my goodness, now it looks like hammered. Hopefully that will stay there when I dry it, and hopefully the color will not change again. You can read it better, and can you see this little texture on the word? So I will take some glossy accents. Do I have a third of these? No. Oh, yes. Haha. Because 3 would be perhaps good. Do you know what? Suddenly I don't like the silver of this thing anymore. I'm so sorry. This fits so well together. I mean, I don't know if this is the right position for these round things, but the silver, why is that so annoying now? Drives me crazy. Yes, I know that I put this over the word move because something is going completely wrong here at the moment and I don't know what that is. Somehow I don't like the word move there anymore. Somehow that looks totally weird. Do you know those moments? You liked something just a second ago and then in the next second you hate it? Why is that? Oh, it worked. It's nearly unbelievable. Now the word move comes through. I can still see it. Why? Can someone please explain why? Ah, holy moly. Oh no. I'm close to ruining my piece here. Okay, so the metal is, oh my goodness, I have to, oh. Okay. Oh no. No. Oh no. Can you see what's happening here? I mean, it hasn't happened. But this is because the metal is, oh my goodness, I have never experienced that. Because the metal is so hot. Oh, now it's okay. It just went down here because it was so liquid. But that also means if this is so, still so not hard, what is the opposite of hard? Can I, because it's really smooth, I can. This makes not so much sense anymore. I have the feeling that the shape of the nail is not good for this. This is a rectangle. This is like something that holds this. And if I put the nail, which is in this curve there, then that looks so weird. Why did I like that in the beginning? Can someone please explain to me how I shall edit this video and make it into something where you think, oh, nice idea, I want to try something like this? I have chosen these stamps. These come from this set, Merchant CMS 331 by Stampers Anonymous and Tim Holtz. And this is a date. It's March 17th, 2024. And that is the date where I signed my Mietvertrag. Here, this little paper where you when you rent an apartment. And this is, I mean, I know that you write dates in English a little differently, but in German it would be 17. And then here there would be a dot, and here as well, 17.3.2024 or 17.3.24, because this is the short version of 2024. Okay. Nope. Nope. Covering too much of the H. I mean, I could tear that there. Nope, it's too close. But what if if I put the lace behind this, then it still works. Okay. Okay. But I also want to have some stenciling in the back. On the on the back of this journal, I told you I also have some stenciling, and I have the feeling that we need this pattern on the front as well, and perhaps also some of this, because that is perhaps also something that bothered me, because the front and the back don't fit together yet. At least in my weird head. So where does this need to go? Yeah, okay. Now you know exactly where I want to put this, don't you? This is the Texture Based Opaque by Tim Holtz and Ranger. My stencil is really dirty there. I haven't cleaned this stencil because I thought I want to use some of this material also in the journal. And since I want to do that, I want to have some of the texture paste on this material because I think that looks more interesting. By the way, this stencil is by Louise Heinzel and Louise Heinzel, and it has the number LH 452, as you can read here on the bottom. You always want to know the names on and the numbers of the stencils, so you got it. So is this nice now? My goodness, it's driving me crazy. I think that is really nice. I use my heat gun to dry this. Normally I would let such a paste air dry. Since this cover is really textured and really grungy and made from junk, I don't care about getting bubbles here now, because that can happen when you dry your pastes with a heat tool. Okay, it's not completely dry, but dry enough to go on. I think if I want to have a cohesive look, then that would mean that I would need a little bit of scotched timber oxide ink to go over the pattern, and this here on the back, it looks really nice, it fits so well to this. But I think somehow here on the front the white gives us a lot for making this work, and I'm not so sure if I want to change that. Perhaps only a tiny little bit of the scotch timber. Let's take the rest, which is on my tool here. Yeah, I think it can have a little bit of that. Okay, that must be enough. Where can I add the tiniest bit of this effect we also have on the back without ruining this thing? Yeah. I want a connection to the back side of the cover. Do you know what? Sometimes I have the feeling that I first have to freak out completely before I can do something good. And before I can then be again happy about what I have here and be satisfied and enjoy the process. Do you know that? Sometimes, I mean, you haven't seen everything of my struggling here, and you haven't seen me freaking out like completely because I have edited the video, and you haven't seen what happened while I stopped the camera. But please imagine someone who is completely freaking out, and then you know what I did without having pasta. But sometimes I have the feeling I need that to, yeah, get rid of this negative energy I have in that moment because of this frustration. And then after that, somehow, I don't know why, but when I look at this, I like it. I don't know why. Suddenly it's, yeah, suddenly it's my journal again. And that is probably also such a thing. When you work on something and then there comes this point where you think, oh, I don't like it, then it's suddenly not your journal anymore. And that is really frustrating, I think. And now I can somehow think more clearly about the things I want to do here. And that is a really crazy experience, but I have that so often that I sometimes really have to run around the table and scream. I mean, and when I say scream, I really mean scream, yeah, screaming really loud. That is not so nice for the neighbors, but yeah, well. I just wanted to try out something, but I can't because this piece that I would need for that is invisible. It has gone. I don't know where it is, but obviously it doesn't want to play with us here today. I am freaked out again without the camera. And if the camera would have recorded, then you would now know that I know obviously a lot of really bad English words. But it is better that you don't know that. I will do the following thing now. I will live with what I have here. I will glue this down. And I'm sure when I stop the video and finish this, I take the journal, bring it to my other desk to make a photo, or basically not to another desk, but to the edge of this desk, because I only have this one here temporarily. And then when I made the photo of this, then I'm pretty sure I will then find the piece I was just searching for, but then I will be not able anymore to try out if it would have looked good, because I have already glued everything down. I'm sure that is going to happen, definitely. Please tell me that you have those things in your craft room going on as well. Please just, and even if it's not like that, please tell me that it is like that. Please just lie to me, okay? I mean, I could take... No, I can't. Because I thought we have a ton of these. But I had strip with multiple of these, but not so massively black. It's not possible. Where are those? It's not this one, but a very similar one. Because we have a ton of these in the journal. So I thought, but no, that is too white here. No. No. The other thing would have been perfect. I found it. Oh. It covers up a lot of the stenciling. It's probably not so good to have too much black there. It's nearly falling apart here, so let's try to perhaps put this here, and if that was there, then this could go here. Why not? Why not? I think I like that. And I want this connection between the inside and the outside of the journal. These black things are somehow also like a theme in the journal. And I think it's not such a bad idea to take that theme and repeat that, or show that on the cover, because probably the cover is the first thing you see of the journal. I thank you very much for watching and for being here with me in this really difficult situation. Thank you so much and have a creative day. Bye bye.